Julie.
Hi.
My name's Mackenzie. Welcome to Durham College's Counseling Services. So I will be a student counselor today. So as a student counselor, I just have to go over some things with you. So we have a client acknowledgement form, which I have right here. And so what I will do, I'll just read it back to you and so you can have a better understanding of what it is and what we do here.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to begin. So Durham College Counseling Services is a free voluntary program that provides you, an individual, with one-on-one personal support with a student counselor like myself who is in training. So if you do agree to participate in this service, we commit to do our best and try to assist you and to work towards your needs and any goals you have. So however, please understand that while most individuals do benefit from our services, some may not. So if that is, then it's all right if you stop and go somewhere else kind of thing. So we have this thing where we have confidentiality. So do you know what confidentiality is?
It's you're gonna not share my information, right?
Yeah, exactly. So basically, we just don't share it to any outside sources unless the following is listed, which I'll go through, comes up to us and we have that issue. So which is a release information form has been signed by you, allowing your personal information to be shared with a particular person, an organization, or an agency. Or if a student counselor is legally subpoenaed to the courts, so then the information will go towards them. If you are suspected of harming yourself and or others, if there is any child abuse, neglect, or domestic violence in the presence of a child, will obviously be reported to the local child protection services. And then finally, we will report if there is any sexually abused by if you were sexually abused by a regulated health professional, examples a psychiatrist, a doctor, so on, that kind of thing. Okay, so by signing this form, you are indicating that you've fully understood what we were talking about. So do you have any questions on it?
No, it's pretty straightforward.
Okay, so do you want to just sign right there for me?
Sure.
Great, thank you. Okay, so as a student counselor, I want to start to get to know you, but before that, is it all right if I take notes during it? It's just to so I can go back to it and fully understand your situation for hopefully our next session.
For sure.
And you can read it at any time.
Okay, perfect. That's fine.
Okay, so I just want to get to know you a little better, so why don't you tell me why you're here today?
So I'm here today because of my living situation. My living situation has just been really rough lately, and I just wanted to come here to get a third party's opinion, and I thought that seeing a counselor would be hopefully beneficial in helping me resolve my issues.
Okay, so you said your living situation is rough, so do you want to expand on that and let me know what why?
Yeah, so I live with roommates. I live with 3 roommates as well as my boyfriend, so there's 5 of us, and we just don't get along with 2 of them in particular. We've had a lot of issues with them, and it affects my mental health, it affects my focus at school, it just affects a lot of parts of my life, it even affects my relationship.
Okay, so how does that restrain your relationship? How does it affect it? In what ways?
It just makes me and my boyfriend fight because then we're stressed out about the roommates and what they're doing and what we're frustrated about with them.
Okay. So is there any particular roommate that bothers you the most, or they're all kind of equal and they all just not the greatest roommates?
One is I guess 2 of the 3 would be the worst. I can start telling you about the first one.
Yeah, sure.
So the first one, we've had a lot of issues with her from when she moved in. The first couple weeks or so when she moved in was fine. She moved in with cats, and we have a cat too. We love cats, and so when she asked if she could keep her cats outside in the common area, we said that was fine. Although we would keep our cat in our room, we thought, okay, if she wants to keep her cats out there, it's her right. That's fine as long as they're not invasive and they don't cause any problems. And for a while they didn't, but eventually they did end up peeing in our bathroom.
Okay.
On our bath mats, and that caused a problem for us and the other roommate that we share the bathroom with.
Okay.
And that really upset us, and that was a whole situation in itself. So that's kind of where the problem started. Okay. And now they've escalated towards her cats pooing in our bathroom.
Okay.
After the peeing incident, we made an agreement for her to keep the cats in her room. Although it was like a fight in itself, she did end up listening and she did keep her cats in her room. But we started to have like a little change of heart and thought, okay, maybe she can keep them out once in a while when she's in the common area. And that was, I guess, our mistake, because just recently last week they pooed in our bathroom and that caused a whole other fight where the police were called, and the police didn't show up because they deemed the fight as like both parties at fault, and the police couldn't really have any involvement with it. But now we're at an awkward point where we just don't know like what to do. We feel really awkward in our living space with her.
Okay, so like from the situation, did you like talk to her after and like try to like smooth things over, or did you just leave it how it was?
We didn't talk after. We've just left it
Okay.
as it was. So yeah, that's why I guess it's like really awkward. I don't want to talk to her, but I also don't like living in like an awkward space.
Yeah, for sure.
Where I know people don't like each other.
Okay. So I understand your situation, but I think we're gonna come back to that, and we should focus on like if there's any other roommates, just so I can get like the full picture of like your situation.
Yeah. Okay. I have another roommate who is super messy.
Okay.
And that's a big frustration. He is just so messy. Like he leaves the common area, like the common kitchen, just a complete disaster. It makes it super hard for me and my boyfriend to cook and make food.
Okay.
Because he leaves his pots on the stove with like rotting food in them. He leaves rotting stuff in the dish sink, in the sink, sorry. Just, he's so messy. And it's so frustrating, and I wish he could just not be this messy, because it's so disrespectful to everyone who lives there. And as of recently, he has now attracted fruit flies with his mess, which is just awful.
Yeah.
Now there's fruit flies all over our place. They're coming into our room. Every time I'm eating something, there's fruit flies coming at me. And it's so frustrating.
So like how like he's like messy and like it's frustrating and all, like have you talked to him at all, or did you just like leave it at like it?
We have talked to him in the past, and every time we've talked to him, he just kind of resists and like shrugs and is like okay, and then doesn't do anything. And this has been on a couple of occasions where I've talked to him and my boyfriend has talked to him, and both times it was more than 2 times, like it was multiple times, he just shrugged and was like okay, and then does the same stuff. So he just doesn't care. He just wants to live how he wants to live. But he needs to understand that when you live with people, you need to respect others, and he's just not getting that. Like from us telling him, he's not willing to cooperate.
Okay. So how you said like you had other roommates and that, so have they said anything to him, or has it just been strictly you and your boyfriend?
So it's mostly been just me and my boyfriend. The other ones don't really care. Like the one I was talking about previously, she doesn't really use the common space at all. And the one that's directly beside us that we share a bathroom with, we don't really have many issues with him. And he doesn't really go out in the common space. So most of the issues fall onto us, because we're the ones that enjoy being out there and cooking. And I feel like we deal with the repercussions of his actions the most. Okay,
so I understand. Okay, I see where you're coming from, and like I get how you said that it made you frustrated, like with like the situation, how he just like shrugs it off and like doesn't pay attention. But is there anything other factors that come in that like makes you like feel a different way about him? Like, so like anything else he does?
Not really. Like I said, yeah, like it's just frustrating how he doesn't care. Like I don't know how someone can just not care that they're like affecting other people.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like we've like exhausted all our resources, and we've tried so hard to like talk to him as adults, and he's just not willing to, and he's just like persistent in staying in his own ways and just being like a slob. And I hate that we have to deal with like bugs now.
Okay, so you said resources. So like, what resources have you like used?
Well, like I said, like we reached out to him, like we've like knocked on his door to talk to him, we've written notes, like we've used a lot of ways to reach out to him, and I feel like there's nothing else we can really do. There's only so many times we can reach out to him, and he hasn't listened, so I feel like any other time now that we've reached out to him would almost be like pointless.
Okay. Wow, that does sound pretty horrible. I'm sorry that you have to live through these conditions with those two roommates. You did say you had a third roommate, so do you have like the same issues with them, or is it just like something different or nothing at all?
It was gonna be, and then I couldn't. Okay, you can cut all that, right?
Yeah, I'll just delete the video. Or are we just gonna keep filming?
Are we keeping filming?
Might as well.
Okay.
Okay. I don't like how I said wow.
I don't know what to say to your question. Okay, just ask it again.
Okay, well, I might reword it because I could kind of forget it. Wow, that sounds pretty horrible. I'm sorry that you have to live through the circumstances with like your roommates and that. You did say you had a third roommate, so is like the issues like the same with him or her, or is it like completely like different?
With him, it's better. Like,
Okay.
the only thing I could really say about him is that he's loud sometimes.
Okay.
I think it's because he's playing video games, and sometimes he's up super early, and I'm trying to sleep in when I have my day off, and I could just hear him like kind of yelling at like his games or whatever, which is annoying, but at the same time, I can almost deal with it because my boyfriend does the same sort of thing, so maybe that's why they both feel like it's okay to do that, because they haven't established like a sense of like times where it's okay and not okay. So they both kind of do the same thing, but other than that, like we don't really talk to him, and we don't have any issues with him at all. So I would say the main issues really lie with the other two. And I feel like even if we did talk to him, he seems like the type of person that would like be willing to cooperate, because he usually just stays in his own lane and just does his own thing.
Okay, so have you thought about like talking to him about like the situation at all?
A couple times. A couple times we thought about maybe talking to him, just because it is annoying when I'm trying to sleep in, and I have someone yelling in the room right beside me, but I don't know why we just haven't. Maybe we feel like there's so many other issues, like I just mentioned, that this would just be like less on the priorities list.
Okay, so how you like said is like less on the priorities list. So if you like talk to him about it, then maybe that's like one other thing that de-stresses you, like doesn't cause as much stress to your life. So maybe you could try talking to him.
Maybe, yeah. I feel like that would be a good idea, and just kind of eliminate that from my like stresses of the roommates.
There was a lot of information that you just told me, so I'm just wondering, in like general, how does it make you feel?
Just in general, it makes me feel like really frustrated. I wish that I could have better roommates and everything could be fine, but unfortunately that's just not the case. And I feel really stuck in my situation because my lease only ends in July of next year, which is still a while from now. Of course, after my lease ends, I can definitely work from there and like do my own thing. But it's just more of like getting through these next months that I really don't know what to do.
Okay, so have you like talked to your boyfriend or like somebody else about like what's going on and like how you feel, and like get their opinions on like the issue and what to do?
Yeah, I've talked to my boyfriend about it, obviously, and, like, we're kind of just in the same boat of we don't know what to do, and, like, we might just have to stick it out somehow, even though it's really unpleasant and unenjoyable. We might just have to deal with it until we can move out, and I've told my mom about it too, and she's obviously super annoyed because she wants me to be in, like, a good space, and she's upset about it, but at the same time she knows that, like, there probably isn't much we can do, so I don't know, I just haven't gotten, like, super good feedback from anyone.
Okay. So, that was pretty good. Like, it gave me a good idea of, like, everything that's going on. I just have a couple questions that I'd like to go over with you before we do, like, goals and everything that I normally do at, like, the end of sessions.
Okay.
So, my first one is, so you said, like, the cat, like, peed and pooed in, like, your bathroom.
Yeah.
So, is it, like, your personal bathroom that's, like, attached to your room, or is it, like, detached and, like, somewhere else?
So our unit has, like, 2 bathrooms. There's 2 bedrooms on one side, which is where the roommate with the cats is. On her side, she has a bathroom shared with someone, and then we have a bathroom that's shared with the roommate beside us. So it's not, like, technically it's right beside our bedroom, but it's not attached. Like, it's for me, my boyfriend, and our roommate beside us. So since the door was left open, I guess the cat just chose to come in ours and do that.
So, so, like, your roommate beside you, so how did he react to, like, the whole situation of, like, the pee and, like, the poo in, like, your bathroom?
He saw it first, and he thought it was, like, our cat, but him and my boyfriend talked after, and we were just like, no, like, it wasn't our cat, it was, like, her cat, and he doesn't really care, like, he was just a little annoyed, but, like I said, he kind of just, like, sticks to himself, so he didn't really have much to say.
Okay. And then my final question is, like, have you ever brought, like, a third party in to, like, help, like, better, like, the situation? Like, may it be management, like, outside source, like, something like that into the situation?
No.
No? How come?
I don't know. It just, we never really, like, thought about it.
Okay.
We thought since, like, we're all, like, adults living in a space as roommates, we should be able to, like, realistically talk.
Yeah.
It's honestly so crazy and, like, immature how they're not able to talk. Like, I feel like we don't even need management, but maybe we're at the point where we do because they don't listen. They just don't listen.
Yeah. Okay. So, thank you for answering my questions. I'll just like to go over some goals with you that, like, hopefully you come back and see me again, that we can, like, work towards. So the first one is, like, maybe, like, talking to, like, the management about your situation, about, like, how, like, the flies are in your, like, room, because, like, it may be your apartment, but it's also, like, their apartment, like, they own it, so, like, maybe you could, like, talk to them. Have you thought of that before?
No, I didn't really think to talk to them because I thought they might not care.
Yeah.
They might just say, work it out between you guys. Like, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like it would be a bother to go to management because they have so many other proper things to do in terms of, like, leasing and stuff.
Yeah.
So that's kind of why I reached out to someone like you.
Okay.
I almost wish we had someone like you, like, in our building that we could bring in, like, a proper, like, mediator, because I feel like I don't want to be the annoying person to involve management and petty issues. So that's why, like, I just haven't thought of, like, contacting management about this.
Yeah, for sure. So on, like, the topic of, like, management, and you mentioned before how, like, your lease is up in July. So from, like, now till July, have you thought about asking management if, like, maybe you could get, like, a different room that you and your boyfriend could go stay in, just so, like, you're not in, like, the same situation as you were before?
Not really. Like,
No?
we haven't talked about it.
Okay, would you, like, think about it? Like, would you want to try something different?
I feel like that's a good idea. I haven't really thought about that, but I feel like that would be a good idea. Like, I don't know if they'd be able to do that, but maybe if they would, we can get put in a different place with potentially, like, better roommates.
Yeah, sure. So if those two don't work out, like, maybe we could just try, like, bringing a third party in. It doesn't have to be management. It could be, like, a family friend or, like, anything into, like, your apartment, and, like, get everybody together and, like, have a group discussion about, like, what the issue is and try to, like, resolve the issue.
Yeah.
Would that, like, work out?
Yeah, I feel like that'd be a good idea to get, like, a non-biased kind of person to hear out everyone's story and kind of make everyone care more, because I feel like no one's really caring about the space like they should.
Yeah, for sure.
And I feel like when you live with a bunch of people, like everyone has to care about the space because you're all sharing it, so it all has to be equal.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, well, it looks like time. No, I don't want to say looks like time's up. Oh my god.
Okay, we're good. We're good.
So what should I say? Be like,
We're almost done.
what should I say? Be like, okay, that's some good information today. I'm just wondering if people want to come see me again. Maybe I could say, due to time constraints, like how you put it, we will have to wrap up this session now, but we can continue another day if you'd like. So that was some good information, but since we do have time constraints, I'm gonna have to end it here. But I was hoping like we could continue this discussion another day. Would that be okay with you?
For sure, yeah, I'd like to come back.
Okay, good, because I really enjoyed speaking with you. So like what days do you think would work like best for you? Would you want to come see like next week or like every other week? How would you feel?
I'd like to come like every week.
Every week?
Like next week would work for me.
Okay, and what days like work best?
Maybe next Thursday.
So Thursday works for me, but I am in office till 5 p.m. and I do have, looks like I have some openings at 12, 2, and 4. Which times would work best for you?
How about 2?
2? Okay, I'll just mark you in. Okay, well, thank you for coming and seeing me today.
Thank you.
No problem. I hope to see you soon.
Thank you for everything.
No problem. Bye, Julie.
Bye.